Imagine, for example, the speech that were made by Marcus Garvey, or all those speeches that were made by Martin Luther King at the time. None of us were there. I was not there, but I can still listen to those speeches today, and it makes me feel good. That is how I know that what we are intentionally recording today is going to make somebody feel good even 200 years from now. So we are doing this intentionally.
I'm Dr. Marcia-Powell. I am a Christian leadership consultant and life coach. I am a story writer, and I embrace story writing to do just this: change mindsets, change lives, change outcomes. But I do it with persons together because I am also change. In my opinion, storytelling is more than a cultural artifact. It is really a dynamic tool for decolonization because it carries so many different interpretations and meanings and so many personal and in-depth experiences that even if it is told from another's perspective, it is a different story that is told because it carries a different impression on the person telling, even if they are telling your story.
If we know what we are doing is good, let's continue. It doesn't matter whether you have 1 million followers or just 2 people that believe in you. Keep on doing it because you are going to change somebody along the line. This is the power of all of us. The only way we can get out of this quagmire is when we unite our efforts together. Because by uniting our efforts together, there is no storm that we cannot weather. There is no obstacle that is beyond us. It is only when we remain in our petty little angle, thinking that it is about me and all about me, that we will fail. Because it is not about me as a person or you as a person. It is about us, all of us. That is why at the center of what we are doing in Aclasses is that we believe so much that we, just as an organization, we do not have all the solution. So we are intentionally reaching out to other experts within the diaspora, and we are saying, let's create this solution together. Let's bring a little bit of you, a little bit of me, a little bit of him, a little bit of her. When we put it together, we'll be able to find a better solution. Maybe I need to explain that more. You see, there are a lot of experts within the African diaspora, whether you are in the UK or in US or in Canada or in any other part of Europe. But as far as Asia, there are a lot of experts among us, people who are really, really good in what they are doing, from the field of academia, research, economy, finance, politics, negotiation, able to communicate, people who can really write very well. But none of these bigger-than-life individuals can do it alone. So this is why we are insisting that we need to look for a way to cut across, to look beyond the petty differences that we have among us, and let us work together. Let's look for a way to work together. Because if we do, then we will be able to leave a better legacy behind for other people that are going to come. Just now before we started to record, I was just sharing with Sister Gloria, talking about our consistency here, because we are really consistent here and we are doing it intentionally. Then I was saying, imagine, for example, the speech that were made by Marcus Garvey, or all those speeches that were made by Martin Luther King at the time. None of us were there. I was not there, but I can still listen to those speeches today, and it makes me feel good. That is how I know that what we are intentionally recording today is going to make somebody feel good even 200 years from now. So we are doing this intentionally. So what I'm really telling us is that we need to continue. If we know what we are doing is good, let's continue. It doesn't matter whether you have 1 million followers or just 2 people that believe in you. Keep on doing it, because you are going to change somebody along the line. Maybe the person is not born yet. Because remember that us, as identity is defined, is a person who is connected to the ancestors, who is also connected to the unborn. Until these two extra, they are not really sort of detached from you, which is before you and after you are put together, we cannot really call you a human being. So that a human being, therefore, is the one who creates this connection between what have been before you and what is going to come after you. I'm talking about maybe something up to like 500 years from now. Those children that are going to be born, they are part of who you are. So they are the reason that we are here. We know that we are doing this intentionally also for them, because they are part of who we are. Using storytelling as a decolonizing tool for Africa and Africans. Now, I will pass the mic to Dr. Marcia. Please go ahead. Tell the people who you are and your first take on the conversation.
Good morning, everyone. Good night, good evening, depending on where you are from. I want to first of all give a shout out to my esteemed colleagues, Gloria and Nikosia. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. So happy that you could join us, even as you travel. Love your perspective on love as a decolonizing tool in storytelling. Love your perspective, Gloria, on the healing of telling our stories that would heal us. I want to put a take in as an educator that in my opinion, storytelling is more than a cultural artifact. It is really a dynamic tool for decolonization, because it carries so many different interpretations and meanings and so many personal and in-depth experiences that even if it is told from another's perspective, it is a different story that is told, because it carries a different impression on the person telling, even if they are telling your story. And so it is very important, because storytelling helps, in my mind, to you to reclaim and share your story. And through this, as Africans, we can assert our identity and preserve our heritage.
Hello, and thank you for checking out this video. I'm Obehi Ewanfoh, the host of the African Diaspora Storytelling series. Every 2 weeks, we meet up on LinkedIn to talk about different ways we can leverage the power of storytelling as people of African descent. Now, this is it. We are uniting the millions of Africans in the diaspora through the power of our story. It does sound like what you are interested in. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and share this video with your friends who might need it. Now, back to today's conversation.
Because it is our own unique and original story that can, in fact, inspire future generations. Because as we begin to connect meaningfully in the world, if we tell our story unapologetically and with authority, and the assertion and ownership that makes our stories lasting and impressive, then we have the power to channel and confront decisively the global narratives that represent us and that contribute to an inaccurate representation of who we are and an understanding of how we have been affected by our experiences, whatever shape or form they came in, and what we take with us that make us so resilient. I want to look at an example of what I'm describing. As I follow Rwanda very closely, it is a nation that I really admire, because the leader has managed to make decolonization come alive in a way that can only be admired. And also, it is something that has made persons become afraid, and fear drives hate. Because it is not just a political process, it is also a cultural one. So he has reclaimed the language of his people. the knowledge of his people, and the ways of life that colonial powers attempted to suppress or erase in that group. He has managed to do it very well. So persons have reclaimed their identity, preserved the language and culture because of the personal ownership and collective resilience that brings. It has empowered the communities in this nation. It has educated and healed persons. What do we mean? It has changed the mindset that persons now understand the redistribution of resources, the self-sufficiency that comes from collectively banding together to preserve a heritage, to preserve the dignity of a people who had that as a birthright. When we are born, we come into this world, whatever way we come, but we must live with a certain amount of dignity because we now accept and know and embrace who we are and our history and use it to perfect our future. And so this self-sufficiency must be economic, it must be mental, it must be spiritual, it must be emotional, it must address our purpose in life, and it must cement our presence and authority. And so storytelling rebuilds an identity. It heals and reconciles us with the parts of us that we were disconnected from. It challenges the colonial mindset and it corrects misconceptions. If we understand the power of storytelling as a decolonizing tool, we wield it with such power that all who come under the influence of that tool has to be changed. That's all I have to say as we start on this. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this group. I'm Dr. Marcia-Powell. I am a Christian leadership consultant and life coach. I am a story writer, and I embrace story writing to do just this: change mindsets, change lives, change outcomes. But I do it with persons together because I am also change.